Hi guys, today I thought I'd show you how to make this pretty little pendant. I've no idea what I'm going to call it yet, but it's using translucent and like metallic and pearl colours in it. It's almost got like an ocean look to it, I guess, but I'll think of what I can call it and put it in the title when I've decided. But anyway, you're going to need some translucent clay. I'm using cernit today. When I made this pendant before, I actually used Primo, but I've actually run out of Primo and I can't find it anywhere. So cernit it is. And I'm also going to use this cernit metallic, I think it's turquoise. Yeah, turquoise. And the cernit pearl blue from the pearl range. They're the clays I'm going to be using. I've also made a quick little block of my Ocean Wave Mukume Gane. Now I'm not going to show you how to make it again in this video, but I will leave a link to my tutorial for that. And this is kind of optional anyway, but if you wanted to add this to the pendant, you can. So there's that. You're also going to need these Sculpey little Sculpey moulds. They're very thin, but they just give like a tissue thin mould once they're baked. So there's that. You'll also need some metallic gold and metallic silver paints, some silver and gold, or in this case copper leaf, some gold mica powder, obviously a cutter or cutters of your choice, an acrylic roller, and the usual blades, and also some different sized pokey tools, as I call them. I always forget what they're called. It's gone. The pokey tools. Alright, so first thing first, let me just move all this out of the way, is to get our clay ready. So like I said, this is my block of Ocean Wave Mukume Gane, and it is optional in the piece, but I will leave a link to the tutorial for that. And then the other clay is what we're going to be working with now. So I'm just going to get some of this translucent. I'm wondering if that might be too much. Yeah, that might be a bit too much. Just a ball of it, like so. It depends how much you want to make. I'm just making a few pendants, so. And then a piece of the metallic turquoise, and then a piece of the cernit blue pearl. And I'm just going to make a skinner blend using the teardrop method, just so you know. Either way, it's still a skinner blend. Let's roll it into some little teardrop shapes, like so. And this colour as well. Now which way do I want this? I think I'll go from there to there. And then the translucent as well. Just get that into a teardrop. That's probably going to be too big. I'm just going to take some more of that off. Don't worry that it's now covered in blue, because it's all going to get blended together. So I'm just going to stick that there like that, and we're going to make a blend from it. Just give it a quick roll. And then if you don't know how to make a blend, you do what I've just did, and then fold and pass it through the pasta machine like this. Fold again and keep going until you've got your blend. So I'm just going to go and do that, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so I've done my blend and here it is, and it's just a question of now cutting out your desired shape. So I'm just going to place it on here, try and incorporate all of that blend, and just cut. Like so. I could always make another pendant out of this, but I'm just going to show you the one just to cut down on time. Alright, so there's that. And then I've got my Makume block, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that here and there. So I'm just going to take off a slice, and like in the tutorial for this, I'm just going to stick it down on my tile and just take very, very, very thin slices from it, and then place it onto the pendant like so. Just a touch of it here and there. I don't want it to cover the whole piece. That one didn't work out too well. Try again. Maybe just another tiny piece. Like so. Okay, so there's that. And again, that's optional. You don't need to add that if you don't want to. I just need to give it a quick burnish. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to go and put this on a piece of card. I'm probably going to need to reshape it a little bit because it got a bit distorted. But I'm just going to put it on the card. Just give it a little reshape with my blade. And that's all there is to it for this part. And that just needs to be baked. A few little crumbs on there, just get those off. Okay, so that's going to go in the oven to be baked. So that's the first stage to the pendant. Now we need to take our Sculpey mould. Oh, I forgot to mention, you're also going to need some liquid Sculpey as well. And this is pearl white. And I'm just going to pour this onto my tile. And then you'll need the gold mica powder. And I'm just going to tap some of that into the liquid clay. Oops, too much. And then I need a toothpick. I'm just going to mix that mica powder into the liquid clay. And I used way too much mica powder, so I'm not going to use all of that. Just give it a good mix. And then I'm going to just apply it to the mould that I want, and I'm going to be using this one. So I'm just going to add that onto there. Make sure it fills all the grooves. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess like that. Make sure all the gaps are filled. You'd probably do better using the actual squeegee thing that you get with it, but I can't find mine, so I'm just using this. Just do that, and just then wipe off the excess. Although once it's baked it will come off quite easily, but I always give it a quick clean first. So there's that, and I'm going to probably use the rest of this to do another one, but just for the purpose of this video I'm just doing this one because this is what's going to go on the pendant. So the pendant and this both now need to be baked, and once they're baked I will be back. Alright guys, I'm back and the pendant's baked. I've just given the edges a quick sand just so they're nice and smooth, and I made a bit of a boo-boo, but hopefully I can easily rectify it. Really what you should, or what I should have done, what you need to do is bake the Sculpey mould first and then place it on top of the unbaked pendant. That way you can easily press it into the clay. Brain fart moment, I don't know. So we've got 2 pieces of baked and this has got to go on here. So the only thing I can think of to do really to rectify this is just to add a tiny little bit of resin onto the edges, just a little bit, and then just pop it down onto your pendant like that and cure it. I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm just going to have to add a little bit more, I think. So, we'll see. So I'm just going to give this a quick cure. Fingers crossed this will work. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, but there's always a way to resolve things, so try not to panic too much if this kind of thing happens. I do stuff like this all the time, so yeah, hopefully that's worked. Yep. Thank goodness for that. So anyway, I've got my piece on there, right? Okay, moving on. Okay, so now what I want to do is start to decorate the piece, and there is going to be several layers of resin used on this, and obviously I'm not going to show you every single layer because that would take forever, but obviously I'll explain to you as and when you need to add the resin. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little bit more resin on my tile, just a touch, and I'm going to add just a little bit of it like so onto the pendant. Just do like a little wiggly line or something just to give it a little bit of a pattern like that. And then I'm just going to take my copper leaf and just grab tiny pieces of this and just start adding it to that resin. It's a bit awkward because it sticks. Come on. But just add it onto there, she says. Okay. This is quite fiddly. I don't want to touch the resin because if I get it on my skin it breaks open and itches like crazy, so I've got to be very careful. Yeah, I know I should wear gloves, but I don't. I can't work with gloves on. I just find it hinders me a little bit, so I just have to be extra careful. Okay, so just keep adding that little bit of foil, metal leaf over the place that you've put the resin, and it's just to give it a little bit of extra something. Okay, oops, that's probably too much. Oh, gosh, this is so awkward. Come along. The other thing is I'm not very good with my left hand either. Things are a bit awkward when I need to use both hands. But that's all you're doing. You're just manipulating that metal leaf, whatever colour you wish to use. And obviously you don't have to use the copper, you could use silver, whatever. So I'm just manipulating that on there just to give it a bit of shape. Like so. And then that needs to be cured, so I'm going to cure that for a minute or two and I'll be back. Alright, so that's cured just for a minute. It doesn't take much. We don't need to fully cure it because we're going to start adding more resin. So what I'm going to do now is actually, resin the whole pendant. So I will show you this, but I'm not going to show you every single layer. Like I say, I will just explain to you where you need to do it next. So while it would have been better if I'd put this mould on to unbake the unbaked pendant, because it leaves it more flush with the pendant. I've managed to salvage it, and because we're adding more layers of resin, it won't be noticeable. So I'm just adding my resin. You can decorate this any which way you wish. I've made a few of these and I actually used the Scorpy butterfly mould, and the butterfly looks really nice on these actually. But let's do this one today. I'm trying to get that resin flush with the mould, because it is slightly raised, unfortunately. Okay, so that's the first layer of resin that's going on. So again, I'm just going to go and cure this. I'll do it off camera, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll be back. Oh, before I go, it's always good to give your resin a quick boop with the lighter just to get any air bubbles out, like so. Alright, so I'm going to go and cure this and I will be back again. This is cured, so next stage I'm just going to get some of this gold and silver paint and just pour a little bit onto my tile. And some silver. Oh, that needs shaking. It came out a bit watery. Put some here. Alright, so just a little bit of gold and silver paint, and then what I'm going to do is take my ball tools. I remembered the name, pokey tool, ball tool, and I'm just going to add a few little dots here and there. So just dip your ball tool into your paint and just add it to your clay like that, your pendant rather. And then the same, I think I'm just going to stick to this size. I don't think I need to use any other size, to be fair. Let me think, where do I want it to go? I'll do this one up here. Oops. Just little embellishments here and there. And I'm going to go again here. Bring it down. Like so. And I think that's good. And then I'm going to get a little bit more resin, just a little tiny bit, and put it in the centre. No, actually I'm going to put it on my tile so I don't screw it up. Little tiny bit of resin in the centre of this flower mould, like so, and then just add a tiny little bit of the silver leaf. So I'm just basically adding little bits as I go and then curing again, and it just gives it a kind of a layered look, gives it a bit of dimension, depth. Oh, come on. And then just manipulate that into the resin again. Push it down. I'm just going to have to bring it closer to me because I can't see very well. Okay, so there's that. So of course this has got to go again underneath the UV lamp, and this paint needs to dry as well. So once I've done that, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I cured briefly, not a full cure, on that little centerpiece that I added in there with the resin. Let the paint dry. I did another layer of resin, and then I added a few more little silver and gold dots here and there. I've just let that dry, and then I'm going to add one final layer of resin, and I think I'm good with that. Like I say, you can embellish it any which way you want to. You can do as many little silver dots here and there. You can layer it up as much as you want to. So I'm just going to go and do one final layer of resin, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back, and the pendant is finished, and I've added a pinch bail and an organza ribbon / cord necklace to it, and that's the final piece. And then I also did my usual resin and glitter on the back, and that's kind of cool because you could wear the pendant this way as well. So reversible pendant, really. Oh, my voice went all squeaky there. Alright, so that's the finished piece, and I'll just quickly show you another one that I did, very similar, slightly different colours obviously, as you can see. This one was made with Primo as well, so I can't remember which colours I used, to be honest, but this is a little more translucent, and but exactly the same technique. So there you go guys, that's all for today, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.